Sorry, I just wanted to get it out before.
That's fine. That's okay.
I aimed it that way.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah. That's okay. No judgment here. It's natural.
It's natural.
And
my girlfriend hates it.
That's what men do. Well, that's what men do.
Yeah, that's what men do. I can't fart or burp. I can't even express myself.
I don't like that either. I don't like that type of.
I don't. But sometimes when the burp slips out.
Yeah, you can't control that.
And she comes after me. She comes after me.
Well, you got a real battle axe, Joe.
Yeah. She comes after me. She says, "I'm going to change you." I go,
yeah, women. Yeah, they want it. They love to change. They do love to change.
Yeah, I'm her project.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a slow, long project.
Me, I think the girl I'm dating is perfect. I never try to change anything about her, but they love to change.
Wouldn't dream of changing my sweet precious
I
angel.
fell in love with a perfect angel.
Yeah,
but she hates everything about me.
Yeah, that's every relationship I've been in. I go, wow, the perfect woman.
For me, it was love at first sight. She's all fixer-upper. So.
This guy's a real bang-up job. Wow. That is true.
Needs work. Guy that needs work.
Yeah, let's get under the hood and let's completely recircuit his brain.
I saw God's perfect creation.
Yeah, she's looking at me like, let's put a Neuralink in him. Yeah. Let's change his brain completely. You won't even recognize the guy when I'm done with him.
It'd be a whole new man.
Yeah, I just liked his eyes.
Yeah. He had good
everything else.
Good bones.
Good bones. Yeah.
That's what they say.
Johnny Cash car, one piece at a time.
Yeah.
Build me slowly. One piece at a time.
Yeah.
That's a good reference. I stand by that.
No, I like it. I support it. No, I had to go to the eye. I've been having eye issues, Joe.
Yeah, you have. It's been what has been red, clogged.
They're dry. Dry eyes. Dry eyes. They call it.
No cure.
No cure for dry eyes.
Incurable. Yeah.
No, but the doctor.
Well, would it kill you to cry a little more?
Well, I'm working on it.
He goes, yeah, this happens to people who can't open up, get vulnerable. No, so the doctor, what did he tell you?
The doctor, well, it's a lady doctor, Joe, so.
We're going to read all about that today. Without me checking my privilege.
She goes, use these eye drops, take a break from your contacts, and maybe try not to look at so many screens. Limit your screen time. So I go, okay, that's fine. And then I tried to do that. I forgot everything is screens now.
Yeah, well, and plus your job, probably.
My job, I got to stare at a computer.
Limit my screen time.
Yeah.
They have a gun to my head, forcing me to look at one for 8 straight hours.
Well, not even that. But everywhere you look is screens. It's all screens.
Right, yeah.
The Subway screens.
Yeah, it's screens everywhere.
You go to the restaurant, it's screens. You have to go.
Yeah, the menu's screens.
The menu's a screen now.
Yeah,
everything's a paper.
Everything's a screen.
Yeah, everything's a screen. You go up to order. You got to press a screen. I can't.
You can't even write in the back of a car. They put screens in the back of them.
Yeah.
And they have like games that are for like 4-year-olds.
Right, they do. Yeah.
They go, which shape is this? Square or triangle?
Yeah, exactly. And then my fucking eyes are gonna fucking wither away. They're gonna turn to dust. I can't escape these goddamn screens.
Like, we don't know what to tell you. Yeah. They're just gonna wither away.
Well, you know what? Have you tried living off the grid? That's the only way. That's the only way you're gonna get fixed. If you live off the grid.
There's this guy Chris McCandless. You should do what he did. It's called Into the Wild. It's a great movie. Of course, you'd have to watch the screen to watch the movie. So that would do a little more damage. But I
suppose there was also a book. It started off as a book, and that.
But he's like, but you really don't want to read books.
No.
Stay away from screens, but do not look at a book.
Yeah.
Small words printed, forget about it. I mean, your eyes will dry right out.
You're fucked.
Yeah. So he says limit your screen time, and that's it. There's no eye drops. There's no.
Well, he gave me she gave me eye drops. We keep calling her.
Oh my god, dude! I'm such a pig. I'm just woman doctor. I guess they can do anything now.
Optometrist. Oh well, so that's it. I'm fucked, Joe, and there's nothing. Luckily, we have paper newspapers, so I can still do the pod.
My next suggestion was going to be turning this whole podcast digital. I guess we shouldn't do that.
No, I'll go blind.
Oh, you go blind.
Yeah,
this might be your last episode left. All right. Well, hell yeah. What are we going to hear about today? No, we should tell the folks at home.
We should tell the listeners.
Yeah, I think they know.
We should tell our male listeners.
I don't think we're getting a lot of new pickups at the moment.
No, but maybe if we ever switch to your YouTube channel.
Yeah, one day we'll switch to the YouTube channel. Well, this is the Echo Chamber podcast, the only podcast where two comedians read the Wall Street Journal because one of us gets it for free from work. Trent, what are we going to be hearing about today on the pod?
Well, there's one, our nation is divided. You've heard about this.
I've heard about this.
Yeah. Well, there's one thing that both vice presidential candidates can agree upon, and I'm not going to spoil it.
Oh, okay. Is it couches? What is it?
No, it's not couches, but good guess.
Okay. All right. We're also going to hear about AI startups. So AI, they fucked it all up. Didn't work. Didn't work, and now they're looking for bailouts.
Oh, good. Yeah. No, they deserve to be bailed out. Yeah.
It's honestly great news that this is not working.
Yeah, it is great news.
Yeah.
No, but we should bail them out.
We should bail them out, yeah. So they're trying to get bailouts. They fucked it all up.
Wow.
They go, we just can't crack it.
Jesus Christ. Well, I don't think we covered this on the pod, but you were telling me about those astronauts that are stuck in space. The International Space Station.
Right. Are we going to hear about them?
Yeah, well, Boeing and NASA, they can't figure out a plan. They can't figure out a plan to get them back.
I saw something the other day that said they're shooting for 2025.
2025.
Like, oh
February 2025.
It's at 6 months out.
Yeah.
Well, we're also going to hear about movie theaters.
Ah, yeah, it's one of my favorite places.
One of Trent's favorite places. Trent's he's a cinephile.
I'm a bit of a cinephile.
And check out Mabry's Movies Must-Sees.
Yes.
Trent's definitive list of all the films in theaters you should see. Well, movie theaters adapting to the post-COVID world. They haven't had quite the same bounce back that restaurants and other places have.
Sure.
But they get into the racial demographics, and that's pretty interesting, too. So we'll hear about that.
Oh, really? Okay. And, well, this might be our final Olympic story. The Olympics will be over come Sunday.
It all ends Sunday.
It all ends Sunday. And we'll have to wait 4 more years.
Well, who do you think is going to win the Olympics? That's the question.
Well, the good old US of A is in the lead, as we speak.
Is it a thin lead or
I think it's by medal count, we're up by 20.
Well, medal count's no good. I like gold count.
Well, gold count, I believe we're up by 1. China's on our tail.
They're hot on our ass.
Yeah. Well, there's one sport that they went co-ed. This Olympics they went co-ed, but there's no men.
What sport is that?
Well, it used to be called synchronized swimming. Now it's artistic swimming.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be the one guy doing artistic swimming. Right. Artistic swimming. Okay, well, that's in our final story. We're going to hear about businesses struggling to keep politics out of the workplace.
Oh.
So that'll be interesting.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of politics, Joe, I mentioned before, our nation is divided, but there's one thing.
The vice presidents have in common.
J.D. Vance and, is it Tim Walz or Waltz?
Everyone's saying Waltz, but it's Walls, I believe.
You think it's Walz?
Well, it's W-A-L-Z.
Yeah, there's no T in there.
There's not a T. Now, I've heard of a silent letter. I haven't heard of a letter that's not in there that you pronounce.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So I'll say Tim Walz. That's, yeah. I think it's Tim Walz.
I think it's Tim Walz.
If it's not, it is.
Waltz feels better, but
Tim
Walz.
Yeah.
Okay.
He should change it.
He should change it.
Well, Tim Walz and J.D. Vance agree. Diet Mountain Dew rules.
Ugh. That's the most pandering bullshit I've ever heard.
Vice presidential candidates both profess their love for the soda. J.D. Vance and Tim Walz don't agree on much, but there's one thing they both can get behind. Diet Mountain Dew.
Now, I'll give them this.
Yes.
I've had a Diet Mountain Dew before. Maybe in the last 5 to 6 years. And it is far more palatable than a regular Mountain Dew.
Really?
A regular Mountain Dew. I mean, that's crazy. That's for like a 9-year-old. I mean, it's like... It's like eating an M80 or something. You can't have a Mountain Dew. But a diet Mountain Dew, that's a drink of a gentleman right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that at work.
It's a gentleman's drink.
Yeah,
Yes.
that at work, you know.
Yeah. Wow. Now, why is that? Is it the taste or is it the...
They you know what they did? They looked at Mountain Dew and they said, let's completely revamp it.
Yeah.
And they got scientists at it, and they went to work.
They got scientists. They got our nation's top scientists.
And they made something for adults. And it's good.
Oh, it's a drink of choice for the vice presidents. In a political season with no shortage of shocks, the vice presidential rivals have both professed their love for the super caffeinated, no sugar soda with a relatively small following.
That's right.
Quote, "This is the good stuff here. High caffeine, low calorie," Vance said during a recent Newsmax interview.
What a maniac.
He's a loser. Everything. He's an absolute loser.
He's a fucking dork loser asshole.
Can you imagine? I mean, making this your whole personality. Oh, I love Diet Mountain Dew. Doesn't get paid by them. No sponsorship.
High caffeine, low calories.
This is the good stuff.
It's falling on deaf ears.
What a loser. He's a fucking dweeb. Each 12 fluid ounce can of the diet soda has 54 milligrams of caffeine. A Diet Pepsi of the same size has 35 milligrams, and a Diet Coke has 46.
Oh, so it's more.
It's more.
And that's good.
And that's good.
Yeah, because
we need an energetic vice presidential candidate.
Yeah, because it's such a high energy job. You sit in the room.
Yeah. And you wait.
You also wait. Yeah.
You wait and you wait for the president to die. That's your main hope is the president dies.
President dies. I think you have one job. It's if the Senate is tied a vote, you cast the tiebreaker.
Right.
Happens about once every 3 years in our country.
Yeah.
And I don't think they do anything else. I really don't think they do anything else.
No. They sort of they fly around. They visit places.
They move the mouse around.
They move their mouse around.
Stay active.
Yeah.
On Slack.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
The neon green citrusy soda burst into national political
we were talking about this.
consciousness last month when the Republican senator from Ohio accused Democrats of being quick to label their political opponents as racist. Quote, "Democrats say that it is racist to believe..." "Well, they say it's racist to do anything," he said at an event last month at an Ohio high school. "I had a Diet Mountain Dew yesterday and one today. I'm sure they're going to call that racist too."
Why didn't you tell us that he had one yesterday?
But
it's good.
But it's good.
He's a dud.
He's
a complete
dud.
fucking
He's
dud.
a dud.
He's a dud. Why did he pick him? I really don't know. What did he do to the... How did he help him do anything?
I don't know. Well, he wrote that book, Hillbilly Elegy.
Hillbilly Elegy.
And they turned
one
it
of my favorite films.
Yeah, they turned it into a film, a Netflix original.
It's got a 24 on Rotten Tomatoes, but I think that's unfair.
That's the only thing I know. But he hated him at first. J.D. Vance hated Trump, and now he sucks his cock.
He called him Hitler. Now he's
now he's sucking his cock, and he's watching his come down with a Diet Mountain Dew.
Wiping the Cheeto dust off his face.
That damn Cheeto.
It's a goddamn Cheeto.
Just can't see that damn Cheeto. Well, the Democratic governor of Minnesota has long been effusive about his love for the beverage as well. His X, formerly Twitter feed, often features mentions of it in cans and bottles of the diet soda appear in his photos regularly. When his team threw him a 60th surprise birthday in April, it was complete with Diet Mountain Dew, of course.
Happy birthday, Tim.
Here's a cake.
It's a keg of Diet Mountain Dew.
Well, Joe, when do you think Mountain Dew was invented?
That's a good question. You know what? I feel like the 70s. No, before. I know it's from the 60s at least. I'm going to say the early 1960s.
Well, the 1940s.
Fuck.
By Tennessee beverage bottlers. And first marketed in the South. Pepsi
to retards.
Pepsi acquired Mountain Dew. Pepsi acquired Mountain Dew in 1964.
Oh, okay, that's when we really started.
That's when it really hit the big time.
The big time.
Nationwide. Mountain Dew. And over the years, it emerged as a favorite among rural youths
It's hard to say. I can't say it either.
Yeah.
Rural. I say rural.
Rural youths and blue-collar young adults.
Just say fucking rednecks.
Yeah.
Just say hicks.
While the brand embraced its image, it once had a hillbilly on its logo and ran an ad with the tagline, Yahoo, Mountain Dew, it'll tickle your innards. It also tried to move beyond it.
Yeah, I would think so.
Mountain Dew tried in the 1980s to market the drink to urban teenagers. Just say blacks.
Yeah. Hicks. It was Hicks first, and then they switched to blacks.
We should move to blacks.
And you know this is what they're saying in the boardrooms.
Right, yeah.
We have to find the blacks.
Well, they tried to do that by running ads on MTV showing youths breakdancing. The campaign...
Hip-hop, they call it.
They call it hip-hop. The campaign...
The hip-hop and you don't stop.
Well, you wouldn't believe this, Joe. The campaign... It didn't work. And it alienated the beverage's core drinkers who didn't care for the dancing or for MTV.
They pulled the Bud Light.
Yeah, they pulled the Bud Light.
They tried to, you can't do a 180.
Right.
Here's the thing. You can do a 30-degree tilt.
Yeah.
You hit an adjacent market.
Right.
You can't go 180 on these people.
No, exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can turn your back on
They
them.
never learn. They've been doing it since the 60s. So they didn't care for it. George Harrison, a former Pepsi marketer, told the Wall Street Journal.
George Harrison?
I read that like 15 times. Like, why is George Harrison?
George Harrison, a former Pepsi marketer and Beatle.
Yeah. Why does he care? Why is he weighing in on this? Today, the Mountain Dew brand stylized...
Dew goes on within you and without you.
Today, the Mountain Dew brand stylized as MTN Dew. That's how they write it now. Instead of spelling out Mountain, it's just MTN.
Right. It's like KFC.
KFC.
They no longer could call it Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Right. Exactly. You're exactly right, Joe.
Yeah, so they can't use Mountain anymore.
Yeah, they can't use Mountain.
There's no Mountain Dew in it.
It's the fifth biggest liquid refreshment brand by volume, behind Coke, Pepsi, Dr. Pepper, and Gatorade.
Well, how'd they turn it all around?
They just caught on. It caught on like wildfire.
So they fucked it all up, and then it caught on like wildfire?
It caught on like wildfire,
Right,
yeah.
well, that could happen. Happen.
Gray Gonzalez, a 29-year-old from Dallas,
Friend of the show.
Welcome anytime, has been drinking Diet Dew since she was 11. Quote, like many Americans who bleed red, white, and blue, I have diabetes, Gonzalez said.
That's not where I thought that sentence was going.
I didn't either.
Okay.
Explaining why her favorite drink has no sugar.
Yeah, I still feel like it's not really
probably not
helping
great.
with the diabetes.
Probably not great for you.
Yeah.
She said it's difficult to find a soda fountain with the diet version, which only adds to its appeal. When a dispenser has it, it's totally exciting for me, Gonzalez
Jesus
said.
Christ, get a fucking life, Lord.
About the election itself, Gonzalez said she was less enthusiastic. The musician said she's not happy about the direction of either party and isn't sure how...
Oh, wait, you're telling me that the person who's excited when they see Diet Dr. Pepper in a McDonald's isn't energized for the election?
Yeah, she's not into it.
She's not politically activated?
No, she's not. She's not politically motivated.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to make sure that I got that right.
And she's not sure how she's going to vote. I don't know, man, she said. I just drink my Dew. That's really all we want out of her.
Yeah.
She doesn't need to weigh in.
All right. Vance was going for her.
Yeah, she's going for her.
And then they went into Tim Walz's office and they said, you drink Mountain Dew today, too. You're a Dew guy now, too.
Yeah. Well, Vance's recent praise of Diet Dew caught the attention of Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear, who called the comment weird on CNN.
Yeah. And then he apologized.
Yes, he walked it back.
He goes, I love Mountain Dew. I stand by Mountain Dew. My family was raised on Mountain Dew.
Yeah,
my daughter drinks it.
Yeah, there was a Mountain Dew guy behind the counter.
yeah.
Take it back.
Yeah, they're like the biggest company in Tennessee.
Right.
He's gonna get his ass unelected if he.
Yeah, well, he on CNN he asked who drinks Diet Mountain Dew.
Yeah.
Scumbag ass.
But he did like a press conference where he's like, I said something.
Yeah, we'll get into it. He said he later backtracked at a press conference where he pulled out a bottle of Diet Dew. I do owe an apology to Diet Mountain Dew, he said, for singling it out, but added that Kentuckians were likely to prefer Ale 8, a local ginger citrus soda.
What?
I've heard of Ale 8.
Okay. The real ones, they know Ale 8.
The Ale 8. Well, Kentucky's only an hour and a half away.
That's
Word
right.
gets around.
Yeah.
That Ale 8's.
And listen, I like Ale 8, and I don't know who I'm voting for, so don't ask.
But if you're going to, this is why all these people annoy the shit out of me. Just, if you're going to say something, stick with it.
Yeah. Also, why does it feel like
It
he needs
doesn't matter.
to backtrack on Mountain Dew?
Mountain Dew.
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck? People will forget the next day.
I want to see a guy with conviction.
Right.
He was a fucking backpedal like a little bitch.
Yeah,
dude.
it's like Andy Bashir. He's a little bitch.
He's a little bitch. That's why he's not the VP pick.
Yeah.
Instead, they got a guy out there fucking slinging cuss words at 7 a.m. news every morning.
Yeah.
These guys are fucking weird assholes, man. Tim Walton's got me fired up.
JD, he fucks his couch.
He fucks his cat. We've never had a guy on the left who talks like that. It's always
We haven't.
on the right,
Yeah.
and it looks so cool. And
Yeah.
he's like kind of the first guy. Because everyone on the left has always just been like, if we hold hands,
Yeah.
we can make a chain across the world.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're little bitches.
And you got this guy, he's fucking chugging Diet Mountain Dew and calling people retards.
He crushes the can against his head. He fucking throws it on the ground.
Called Trump a weird fag. Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, exactly.
He's an inspiration to us all. Well, our next story is from the Wall Street Journal, Trent. Shaky AI startups look for bailouts from
Fuck you.
big tech.
Fuck off. Fuck you.
Well, artificial intelligence startups raised billions of dollars last year. You remember that?
Yeah,
We
sure.
talked about it on the pod. Aiming to become winners in the latest tech-driven boom. Now many are struggling to survive and asking Silicon Valley's biggest companies to bail them out. They go, Google, bail me out.
Jesus Christ.
At least 3 once-hot AI startups have been rescued via a new type of deal that many in the tech industry said are acquisitions in everything but name. These deals have the advantage of skirting the typical regulatory process at a time when big tech's growing control over generative AI is being scrutinized by governments. So they found a loophole to acquire companies without acquiring them so that they can dodge the government.
Yeah, oh, good.
Yeah,
That's great.
It's great. More exits, either pseudo acquisitions or real ones, are coming, investors said, as the bubble built by the excitement around generative AI is showing signs of peaking. Creating the large language models that power AI often requires hundreds of millions of dollars in upfront investment before returning a cent of revenue. And many startups are discovering they don't have the resources or runway to get there.
We're running out of runway.
We only need $400 million to have a guy say, and good, how are you today? Why the fuck did we ever throw any of this money into this shit?
We're
It cost
idiots.
all of the money in the world,
Yeah.
and it's something that no one wants to do.
Right.
It's like the VR headsets. I
Yeah.
hope that this goes the way of that.
Yeah.
And I hope that this trend continues.
Right.
Because A, it's fucking lame.
Right,
And I
yeah.
don't want to talk to a chatbot.
No.
I don't want to make a fucking chatbot art to put on my Tumblr.
Yeah. Right, exactly.
And if that does get popular, then the next thing that happens is they get a little bit smarter and take over the planet.
Right. Yeah.
So why the fuck are we doing this? Well, a bailout by the tech giant is better than a flameout, but far from this disruption.
Well, I've always heard it's better to burn out than to fade away.
Yeah, exactly.
Neil Young taught me anything.
Yeah, well, sort of a hey, my situation.
It's sort of hey, that's what they call it.
Yeah.
In the business. It's
Well,
hey,
it's not
hey,
an
my.
acquisition. It's a bit of a hey, my. AI will never die. But it's far from the disruption of the tech industry's status quo investors were betting on. They go, oh, it's going to disrupt the market. But instead, the deals have further strengthened the tech giants, which can foot enormous AI bills with their cloud computing infrastructure.
Fuck the cloud.
Yeah, well, they have the cloud, and that helps. Anxiety about the outlook for the AI boom has contributed to a tech swoon in the public market recently that has knocked off about 13%. The growing industry skepticism is a marked change from last year when money poured into AI startups following the blockbuster debut of OpenAI's ChatGPT.
Yes.
November 2022. And then they go on, they talk about all the different companies that are getting acquired by like Google and all these fucking places. So basically all these AI companies are like, we fucked up, we can't make this work. We'll sell our whole company to Google for like
Right.
a fraction of what we thought we were worth.
Yeah.
And Google is just taking like whatever the software, firing
Right.
half the people, throwing it into its like Google Gemini bullshit.
Yeah.
And
That's a succubus. Yeah.
but Biden's coming after him.
Oh, wow.
He's all fired up. And he's
boy.
coming after him.
Oh, wow. What's he doing, Joe?
Well, the Biden administration's increased actions to block technology mergers and acquisitions are one of the reasons for the unusual structures of all of these startups. But the Federal Trade Commission is probing both Amazon's deal with Adept AI and Microsoft's with Inflection AI to see whether either buyer structured the arrangement to avoid government approval. Wow. So, yeah, watch out.
Biden's hot on your tail.
Biden's gonna clean it up.
Wow.
He's got 4 months left,
Yeah.
and he's gonna do this.
Just enough time.
Just enough time.
Wow.
So yeah, they fucked it all up. It didn't work, and I hope it doesn't work.
Yeah, good for them scumbags.
Yeah, they're fucking scumbag assholes.
Fuck the cloud. Fuck Google and fuck Gemini. Whatever the fuck that is. Well, speaking of people that seem to fuck everything up, a company, Boeing. This is from. I'm sorry. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Boeing
the Wall Street Journal.
and NASA tussle over astronaut plan.
No, the astronaut plan.
Yeah. So these astronauts, they're stuck in space.
Right.
Astronauts who flew to orbit on Boeing's Starliner spacecraft. I didn't know Boeing got into the spacecraft business.
They did, and they did it like right as they were fucking everything up.
Yeah.
Why would you shoot for the moon when your planes are falling out of the sky? You can't even master the stratosphere. Why are we going into the fucking...
Yeah.
Well, let's go higher.
Wow. Boeing's Starliner spacecraft could remain at the International Space Station until 2025 before hitching a ride home with Elon Musk.
Oh my God, Musk is gonna come to the rescue.
He's the savior.
Oh Jesus!
NASA
Christ.
officials and Boeing have been debating whether Starliner is safe enough to return the astronauts to Earth. While Boeing has vouched for the craft, NASA officials on Wednesday said they are working on backup plans that depend on SpaceX.
Oh God, that's our last hope
The last hope.
for Jim and Tammy, whatever their names are.
Barry and Sunita.
Barry and Sunita.
Yeah.
So they were supposed to do this mission. It's going to take like 10 days.
8 days.
8 days.
Yeah.
They've been up there for what
Since
now?
June.
Since June, and they might be coming home in February.
February 2021.
What are their wife and husband, respectively, sitting down on Earth?
I don't know.
Wouldn't you be like, my husband stuck in a space craft with another lady for a year?
Yeah.
I wouldn't feel great about the marriage.
No, you're right. No,
Yeah.
it's like the plot of a early 2000s Tom Hanks movie.
Yeah. Yeah, like a You've Got Mail type.
Yeah, a rom-com in space. We
Right.
should write that.
We should.
The possibility that NASA would call on Musk's space company to close out a mission Boeing has been working on for years increased in recent weeks. NASA managers are considering having SpaceX launch one of its crew vehicles to the International Space Station in September with 2 open seats. Leaders from the agency said.
What about their luggage? Is there room for? Is there room?
Yeah,
to
well, they'll have to,
no carry-ons.
no carry-ons.
Yeah.
They'll have to check it.
We'll have to check. We're sending another craft for that.
Yeah. That would leave room for Barry Wilmore and Sunita Williams, the astronauts Boeing flew to the ISS about 2 months ago, to potentially return with SpaceX, meaning they would remain on the station until SpaceX vehicle departs early next year. So they would send it up in September, but it stays there until February.
So tell me this: Are they in the space station? Or are they in a space pod?
I believe they're at the International Space Station.
And is it just them? There's no one else there.
I don't know. It doesn't say who else is there.
There's usually like probably
Yeah,
like a secretary or something, somebody up there.
Yeah, somebody to take notes and stuff.
Yeah.
Somebody answer the phone. It's usually, I assume there's probably a secretary up there.
International Space Station. This is Tammy.
A mail clerk, probably.
Yeah. Janitor. There's probably a janitor.
Probably a janitor. Yeah.
right.
There's probably a couple of cosmonauts as well.
Yeah,
There's a couple of cosmonauts up there.
Couple Ruskies.
Yeah.
Couple Ruskies up
Yeah.
there. Maybe a Chinaman.
Right. Bauer Sox, a former astronaut.
I just want to step that one back.
Andy Bashir.
That was not the proper nomenclature, and I want to apologize for that.
Bauer Sox, a former astronaut.
There goes my SNL chances. I don't think SNL's
we won't be
gonna
putting this on
happen
your
for me.
YouTube account.
Yeah.
Get you shut down. Bauer Sox, a former astronaut, said Ken Bauer Sox is the top space operations administrator at NASA. Bullshit job. Bauer Sox, a former astronaut, said the chances of Starliner returning without the astronauts has increased over the past couple of weeks. Results from recent tests raised concerns at NASA. Boeing said Wednesday that it still believed in Starliner. So you can't trust Boeing.
Also, that's really not helpful at this point.
No, we still believe in it.
Yeah.
Trust us.
No, it's, we believe in Starliner.
Quote, if NASA decides to change the mission, we will take the actions necessary to configure Starliner for an uncrewed return. So, wouldn't that suck? You're the two astronauts up there, and you see the craft that you came in on leave with no one on it. Oh, okay.
Well, I'm sure they'll send another one up here.
Wilmore and Williams have been aboard the space station since June 6, when they became the first astronauts to fly in Boeing's Starliner vehicle. So they were the first.
They're the first ones.
They're the first and they're the last.
And they're the first and the last. They fucked it up. They fucked it all up.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? Do we ever find out?
Well, the thrusters. Yeah, it's the thrusters.
It's always the thrusters.
It's a classic thrusting issue.
Well, it is. It's the thrusters.
Yeah. so unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about it.
They work, but it's really hot on the gas. You tap it a little bit, and you really thrust quite a bit.
Starliner's inaugural flight has led to a summer of scrutiny on a craft that Boeing has been developing for years. NASA wants both Boeing and SpaceX vehicles available to ferry crew to the space station, which officials have said would help ensure continuous access. The mission originally was planned to last 8 days.
Well, they've scratched those 8 off the wall. They've had a few more marks. Yeah. Can Boeing pull it off? I highly doubt it. Well, in our next story, we'll see if these folks can pull it off. Movie theaters, Trent.
Oh.
Adapt to a post-COVID world. This is from the Wall Street Journal.
Sure. One of my favorite places to escape the terrors of the outside world.
Perhaps in this minion whirlwind machine. you could escape the tornado machine. Well, America's box office is fighting for a comeback. A Hollywood ending still seems far off. They're getting really cute with this one.
Yes.
Young audiences haven't returned to the movies in earnest since COVID. The number of screenings in the U.S. is waning, and it takes smash hits on IMAX scale screens to sell tickets.
IMAX sucks.
It sucks. What do we... fucking Oppenheimer, someone's like, you have to see it in IMAX.
Yeah, the biggest screen possible.
Yeah, I think this screen's fucking big enough.
Regular movie screen's fine.
Yeah, 290 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, no, you got to go for the 400-footer. Yeah, IMAX is bullshit. Plus, Americans are ever more comfortable watching movies at home. The stakes for the industry are particularly
fat fucking ass.
Yeah, they're fucking up the dream of the movies, for the cinema for all of us, and I'm part of the problem. I need to get back to the movies. The stakes for the industry are particularly high during the summer season, which typically makes up some 40% of domestic ticket sales in the given year. The number of screens in the U.S. has contracted in recent years, and studios have struggled to rebuild consumers' movie-going muscle. Theater screens globally have expanded since 2020, though worldwide growth was roughly flat last year, according to search firm Omida, bullshit firm. To attract customers, the theaters have begun offering novelty perks such as in-theater playgrounds and cocktail bars. Yeah, they're trying to reinvent the wheel now. You go to see fucking Despicable Me, they got a guy in there who comes and spits on your cock while you watch it, shakes you up a dirty martini. You get a fucking treadmill with those lights, a Ferris wheel, it's the whole 9 yards.
Right, yeah.
They're out of control. Others are trying to make movie-going logistics as easy as possible with order-ahead concessions.
Yeah, it never works.
Yeah, order a popcorn. The guy, you show up there. I placed popcorn order.
Places a popcorn order, and then he goes, oh, okay. And then he just feels, he just does it there.
It's the same thing as ordering. You just have to wait in the line.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have to look like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, you look like a fucking complete jackass.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
I don't want to have to order it because
order.
I already ordered it.
When customers do go to the movies, Trent, they increasingly prefer, quote, premium large format and IMAX screens.
Wrong.
Both of which now account for larger share of box office sales than they ever did before the pandemic. White audiences, who long made up the greatest portion of the movie-going population, have been slow to return to theaters.
Yeah.
Hispanic audiences, meanwhile, account for a growing percentage.
Yes, this makes sense because they value the family experience. And I love that. I like that. They're the only, you go outside, especially around here, they're the only people out with a family.
They're always out.
Yeah.
And they also don't order from like Amazon because if you go into any department store, they go and shop there.
Right.
They're not getting packages sent to the, even though it's so convenient.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not a money thing because it's like cheaper. It's like not expensive to get Amazon deliveries.
Right.
So they like to go to the store.
They like to go out.
They like to go to the movie theater.
Right.
And I like that.
I like that too.
Yeah.
Everybody used to go out.
Everybody used to go out. Now it's just Hispanics.
It's just Hispanics. It just says Hispanics and me. One white guy. I walk around. But it feels nice to be the tallest.
I think this is why people think that there's like a big immigration problem or they're taking over the country. It's no, they're not.
Yeah.
The white people are just inside. There's not more of them now.
Right, yeah.
The white people are just in their apartments.
They're just inside. Yeah.
So all you see is
they're
Mexicans.
inside on X.
On X. The screen 2 inches from their face.
Yeah, they're
Can you believe this, Cheeto?
They're drying out their goddamn eyes.
They're drying out their eyes.
But I like it because I'm out there with the Latino people, and it's nice it's nice to be the tallest person in a place.
It is nice.
Yeah.
I mean, we live off the 7 train.
Yeah, we love
the International Express.
The International Express.
And every time I catch a 7 in Grand Central, it's me and about 25 5'1" Hispanic guys, and we're all running.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
It's the best. I love it.
Yeah, big fans. And also, when we go to the Regal Astoria, and we know from firsthand experience, Hispanics are in the movie theaters full force. And they're having a great time. Well, young people, those 18 to 34 that were regular moviegoers before the pandemic, have proved harder to win back. So it's actually the young people fucking it up. Young white people. Which is,
Yeah, because it's just, everyone's in phone zone, Joe.
Well, we're lazy.
Phone zone.
We're lazy.
You're lazy pigs,
Yeah. So go back to the movie theater, right?
Get out of the house.
There's nothing
This is
better
what life is about. Getting out of the house.
Yes, there's nothing better than a tub of popcorn.
Yeah, big tub of popcorn.
Fucking giant Diet Mountain Dew. That's what life is about.
Yeah.
Staying out of the sun.
Yeah, exactly. Staying out of the sun, exactly.
And consuming 2,000 calories of popcorn
calories,
and soda.
Diet Mountain Dew. And
watching Ryan Reynolds.
You better get it in now because soon they're going to be calling that racist.
Yeah. Well, they think everything's racist.
Yeah, they think everything. I mean, goddamn. Well, Joe, this is from the Wall Street Journal. This is about the Olympics.
Okay.
We'll have to wait 4 more years before we get another Olympic story. I don't know when the Winter Olympics are.
They you know what? They're in between, right?
They're in between, yeah. COVID
26.
So 2 years. Headline: This sport went co-ed. Where are all the men?
Where are all the men? And this is artistic swimming.
Artistic swimming announced that men could compete at the Olympics, but
no one signed up.
But the vision of a mixed competition went down the drain.
Wow.
Yeah.
No, you would think that there would be some men who do this.
Well, there actually are, and we'll get into that.
That's interesting. Well,
Yes.
I can't wait.
Before, there was a furor over the eligibility of a pair of female boxers. You've heard about this.
No, I didn't hear about that.
That one boxer from, I believe she was from Algeria or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
She had some people. People on the right said she was trans. People on the left said she was God's gift to Earth.
No. Was this the lady where the people on the right go, she's trans, and they go, no, she's not trans. She's just a hideous woman. That was like the argument. No, this isn't
pretty
great.
Pretty much, yeah. But I guess she was disqualified one time because she had high testosterone levels. But apparently, I don't know. She's like intersex or something, but she was born a lady. She's always been a lady. She was never claimed to be trans.
She never claimed to be trans. Yeah. Well, every time they come after like a trans, like remember the trans swimmer. Yeah. And the right came after her.
Yeah.
And then people on the left were like, well, she's not even breaking records. The defense was like, she's not even good.
Yeah. Right.
Which sucks for her. One side is calling you trans, or is like, you're trans, you shouldn't compete.
Yeah.
And the other side is like, let her compete, she sucks.
Right. But I say, let's just go back to not caring about women's sports at all. We were all happier.
Right there with you.
We were all happier when we didn't care about anything. But anyway, that's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, that's just how they decided.
This is artistic swimming.
This was before that. Before this. This was the biggest furor, gender furor.
Why do they keep saying furor?
Well, they said it once, and I've just been repeating it.
Okay.
The biggest controversy at the Olympics was in artistic swimming, except this problem wasn't about athletes in the pool. It was about the men who had been left standing on the deck waiting for their chance to dive in. Artistic swimming, the sport formerly known as synchronized swimming, made waves 2 years ago.
Oh, synchronized swimming.
Yes. By announcing it would allow men to compete in the games for the first time.
Well, here's the thing. I think if they left the name with synchronized swimming,
yeah,
you'd have some guys sign up. But when you change the name to artistic swimming, you know.
Artistic swimming does sound more ladylike than synchronized.
Yeah, they probably scared off the last two guys left.
Yeah, I don't know, a gay artist.
Yeah. No.
They're all gay artists. They're gay.
Always have been.
Yeah. World Aquatics heralded the news as a day of celebration.
Oh, yeah.
Bill May, an artistic swimmer who has spent decades crusading for a place for male athletes on the sport's biggest stage, viewed the decision as the culmination of his life's work. Quote, never, ever, ever, until the day I die, I'll never forget getting that call, May said. But now...
This is his life's work.
But... Well, he's an artistic swimmer.
I know, but no guy signed up. This is your life's work, and nobody signed up.
Well, that was before. That was when they got the news that they're going to be allowed in.
They didn't know that no one would sign up.
Right. But now the Paris Olympics have arrived, and the brave new world of artistic swimming looks a lot like the old one. None of the countries at the games has actually put a man on the team. The vision of a gender-integrated competition in Paris has evaporated. World Aquatics released a sheepish statement saying that the organization was, quote, very disappointed. It's like when your dad catches you drinking. Quote, this should have been a landmark moment for the sport, the statement said. May, now 45 years old, had made an extraordinary comeback to try to compete in Paris.
To try to compete in Paris?
Yes.
Oh, so he was going to be in it.
He tried to come back. He's 45. He tried to...
see, I thought he was like a clerical guy just trying to set this up.
No.
He's an athlete. He's a swimmer.
He's an athlete. He's an artistic swimmer.
He's an artistic swimmer. Okay. It is his life's work.
He's 45. He tried to make an extraordinary comeback.
Well, 45 is a little old for this, right?
Well, yeah. He had been on the U.S. team that qualified for a spot at the Olympics in February. He was scheduled at a multi-team USA press conference in April, his legs bouncing in excitement as he sat on the stage. But when the U.S. finalized its roster in June, May didn't make the cut.
Poor guy.
Yeah.
Well, 45.
45.
Sorry.
I mean, it was, yeah, it was kind of a long shot.
Male or woman.
Right.
Yeah, especially a woman.
Yeah, exactly. Quote, I feel like this has been a missed opportunity to finally allow men into the sport and then not have any men there, May said.
Well, guess what? It's a meritocracy.
Right.
And the best get in and not, you know, if we're going to just put you in because you're a boy, then,
right.
You know, that's the problem with all this woke bull crap.
It's just woke crap. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of woke crap.
But yeah, but also, I mean, yeah, but it's like, why does everything just let the men have their things, let the women have their things? Why does everything have to be integrated now? I don't.
Well, also, it doesn't. I mean, I don't know. Probably shouldn't say that, but I feel like it just looks better when it's all women swimming or like all men doing a thing, like because it's similar shape. I'm getting into some slippery territory here. Well, there's one fucking 45-year-old guy in that group of beautiful women. It's going to stick out like a sore thumb is all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It looks like
Sure.
shit. It's supposed to be synchronized.
It's supposed to be synchronized. Well,
Yeah.
it's supposed to be artistic. Now.
Artistic, yeah. You just put them right in the middle, so it's still symmetrical.
Right. Long mocked for its water ballet origins, artistic swimming has sought to emphasize its athleticism and rigor by rebranding itself away from its synchronized roots. One way has been to abandon its rigid all-female criteria, leaving rhythmic gymnastics as the last remaining women-only Olympic sport.
The last holdout.
Yep, the last bastion of hope.
That's the only one I'm watching.
Yeah. So, Team USA coach, this is why they say there's no man. Team USA coach Andrea Fuentes said there has not been enough time to fully integrate men on teams. World Aquatics says that it is absolutely determined that there will be male artistic swimmers in the team competition at the 2028 Los Angeles Games. But it might not be so easy. The two men, long seen as the likeliest candidates to reach the Olympics, May and Italy's Giorgio Mancini, have both retired after missing out on Paris.
They missed Paris.
They missed Paris. And so this guy, Mancini, he was inspired. He saw Bill May. That was the man who inspired him to get into artistic
Billy
swimming.
Mays, yeah.
Yeah. And they both didn't make it. And the Mancini says, it's one matter to not be able to reach your goals. It's another matter to not be allowed to reach your goals.
But they were allowed this time, right?
They were allowed, but they didn't make it.
Okay, well then you didn't. Then that's not. Then that's the opposite of what you're saying. Yeah. There's gonna be some guy that comes along that's good enough to get in there, and it's not these fucking losers, dude. They're 45 and they're out of shape. They're out of shape. Well, this is our final story on the Echo Chamber podcast this week, Trent. This is from the Personal Journal.
Oh, one of our favorite sections.
One of our favorite sections of the Wall Street Journal. Businesses struggle to keep politics out of the workplace. Employers teach de-escalation techniques as divisive discussions become hard to avoid.
Oh, boy.
Well, as Republicans prepared to gather at their party's national convention in Milwaukee last month, restaurateur Paul...
Restauranter. I'm a restauranter.
I'm a restauranter, so I go to restaurants. Paul Bartolotta and his team reminded the company's wait staff of a long-standing policy. If a diner starts spouting political beliefs, try to stay quiet.
Yeah.
Quote, if you hear something, it's not your position to engage, Bartolotta said to his staff. Let it play out. He said, hey, shut your fucking mouth.
Yeah, keep it shut.
Listen, there's going to be a lot of Republicans in town eating at our diner.
Their money's just as
They're
good
going to be
as...
talking about taking away your rights. Yeah. You shut up. And you let them do it.
Shut up and take their money.
They don't like your rights, but they love our omelets. Well, like a number of business people, Bartolotta is on a quest to keep politics out of the workplace this election cycle, a goal that many others are finding all but impossible to achieve as former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris head into the final 90 days of the presidential campaign.
Wow.
For much of this year, executives took pains to say as little as possible on presidential politics and other divisive topics, such as the continuing war in the Middle East, which we have not covered on this podcast. And
There's something going on?
I don't know. I just hasn't been in the Wall Street Journal. In one widely followed move, Google CEO Sundar Pichai told employees in April that the office isn't a place to debate politics, noting this is a business, following protests at some of Google's locations. They were camping outside Google.
They're camping outside Google. Normally they camp inside Google. From what I've seen, it's all fucking ping pong tables and tents, and you can fucking, there's a jungle gym.
It's a jungle gym. There's a guy making espresso there. There's a DJ. Yeah, there's a hammock.
It's a fun place to work while we fuck the world over.
Well, they don't want you to leave.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea. Well, they go, what else would you need outside of what's in here? We have a jungle gym.
Yeah, we have a jungle gym.
Your water bed is right over there. And we have the trampoline.
I can't fathom why you would ever want to go home to your family.
Do you need a cocktail? Go over to the bar. We got a workout facility here. You'll never leave. Well, while that sentiment remains in many C-suites, a number of companies are now finding that ignoring political discourse altogether may be unrealistic in an election campaign that has proven to be so unpredictable and all-consuming. Quote, I don't think you can create an environment of zero politics, said John Vander Ark, CEO of the trash hauler Republic Services. What? He can't keep politics out of his trash haulers. Well, the guys working for him just showing up to work and be like, can you believe this bullshit? All trash. This is what people talk about. It's on their minds, he said. Quote, as neighborhoods become more segregated politically, you just don't meet people from different sides of the aisle. The workplace is one of the last bastions to do that, Vander Ark said. Well, how employers deal with charged topics in the office continues to evolve. In recent weeks, Salesforce created a new policy asking employees to stop talking about the war in Gaza on its Slack channels, a move that came after the company felt some employees were spending too much time debating such issues. Executives were also presented with a hiring plan to add more HR personnel into the political discussion. HR staff to help moderate the internal discussions and indication for some that the discussions had gone too far. So they hired people to help moderate their other employees arguing about the war in Gaza.
Jesus Christ. Maybe I feel like you're the same way. I don't want to put words in your mouth, Joe, but maybe this is just my Midwest upbringing where I try not to avoid any conflict at all. Oh yeah. But if somebody brings up politics, I'll just go, yeah. I disagree with whatever they say.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, I always agree. Yeah. I could usually see where they're coming from. Yeah. I mean, I have my beliefs, but I'm a pretty good yes man.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I would make
unless I'm like friends with you or whatever.
I would make a great sycophant. in a president's office. Absolutely. No, Biden, you're going to win this thing. Everybody loves you. Companies with...
Yeah, Archie Bunker is a communist.
Yeah, Archie Bunker.
Arch.
Well, companies with frontline employees face their own challenges, particularly if customers try to draw workers into a political discussion. At Hilton, the hotel giant, has expanded God damn it, I can't hold this thing. Has expanded training programs for employees working at its properties to include de-escalation techniques designed to lower the temperature on a number of topics. Delta Airlines in July banned its flight attendants from wearing non-U.S. flag pins on their uniforms after some customers expressed frustration at seeing flight attendants wearing pins of the Palestinian flag. The policy shift spurred... It's just so funny because, we're talking about pins people are wearing here.
Right.
It doesn't make any fucking difference what pin you wear. It's not going to do anything.
Yeah.
On a plane, you're going from fucking San Diego.
On a plane that's not even going to fucking make it. They can't fly.
Yeah, the plane's going down anyway.
The plane's not even going to take off, so...
Excuse me, miss, I don't really like that you're wearing a Palestinian flag. And she goes, I'm sorry about that, but remain buckled because this plane is going down right now. Yeah. If you didn't notice, the evac door blew off. And all the U.S. pins in the box flew out. Yeah. So then people complained about that, asking them to reverse the change. Well, still workplaces are forums where many want to process this political movements that have been happening. On the Monday after Trump's attempted assassination, Guy T. Williams, chief executive of Gulf Coast Bank and Trust New Orleans, bullshit bank, found that almost every one of his meetings or calls started with talk of the news. I mean, how could people not talk about it?
Yeah.
But also, why are they talking about it? They're on a team call. I've never brought up any politics.
Me either.
I mean, can't these people control themselves? I mean, they're on Slack. Regardless of what you believe, why are you on Slack at your job at Salesforce?
Why are you bringing it up? Yeah.
It's like, hey, is this helping the fucking speed up the 10 o'clock meeting or not?
No, you know not at all.
I don't want to talk to anybody that I work with unless I have to.
Right, exactly. I don't need another thoughts on anything.
No.
Politics, your Diet Mountain Dew, or...
Yeah. I don't want to know any of that.
Yeah. I couldn't care. I don't even want to know your fucking birthday. Shut up and do your fucking job. Leave me alone.
Anyway, that's pretty much it. So nobody can keep their fucking opinion to themselves, and we got to hire a fucking HR de-escalator. We got to pay a de-escalator $80,000 a year. $8,000. Could have given you all $1 more grand to shut the fuck up.
Right.
But no, now we have to get fucking Patricia in here.
Wow.
And she goes, I know how you're feeling.
I know how you're feeling, but
I know
let's
how you're
explore
feeling.
different ways to channel that frustration.
Lady just pisses me off even more.
Yeah, exactly. Wow. I don't know, Joe.
Well, some good news and bad news today.
So that's exactly right. Some good news and bad news.
It's a mixed bag. And you know what? Better luck next year to the Olympians.
Yes.
Down with AI.
Down with AI.
Let's hope the movie theaters can hang on.
Yeah. And bring those astronauts home.
And crack open a Mountain Dew. A Diet Mountain Dew. That's right. Well, that has been this episode of Echo Chamber Podcast. Thank you for listening. Please like, subscribe, share, comment.
Yeah, all that shit.
Tell your friends all the bullshit.
Yeah.
And when's this one coming out?
Next Sunday.
Next Sunday. All right, last plug for me then.
Yep.
This is next Sunday. That means that this coming Saturday, if you live in New York City, I am recording my first stand-up comedy special live at The Gutter in Williamsburg, Saturday, August 24th. 2 shows, 8 and 10:30. Please come by. Would love to see you. And come out. And that's the last time I'll talk about this.
Yeah, go see Joe, record a special. That's it. That's the show. As always.
That's it.
This is Trent Mabry signing out.
And this is Joe Nunnink signing off.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.